Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. I will have guests on today from Troup County government, also from Big Brothers Big Sisters. So stay tuned for those interviews in just a moment. Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have guests that are right across the street from my office from the Troup County Government Center. I have on Dana Eaton and Vivian White from the Property Appraiser's Office. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, you know, when we talk about property, and I know this is the time of the year we get our tax bill, Dana, from you, and then there's another bill that will be coming out, or forms that we need to fill out, and that's on personal property. But before we get started, let's talk a little bit about real estate property. Dana, with you, I know back in November we had our property taxes. Talk a little bit about your job and things that go on there.
We have two types of property. There's real and personal property, and just like you said, we have just completed last year's billing in November, and as of January 1st we begin the process of returns for real and personal property, actually. And so this is the time that if you want to make a return on your real property, this is where if any changes have been made, if you're concerned about your value between now and April 1st, need to get that into us. The deadline is April 1st to do that for real property.
Okay. And that's like if someone thinks that the appraised value of it is probably too high, they can go through that, I guess, appeals process, correct?
That's the beginning of that process.
That's the beginning, okay. Have you seen a lot, I know it's kind of early right now, Dana, but I know, you know, with the market swings like it has happened, do you see, or do you anticipate a number of appeals, do you think?
We did have a number of appeals, more than ever last year, and I did expect that. We did make some adjustments pretty much countywide in values due to the market, but we had over 1,600 appeals last year. Oh my. So we are hopefully, we're actually still working on finishing those up and should be done this month.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, very good. I might need to look at mine again, I guess.
Everyone should, you're right.
Well, Vivian, I want to introduce Vivian White to the viewing audience. Vivian is here by way of Tifton, Georgia. We'll just say, welcome to LaGrange. I think you've been there with the county for about a year and a half, is that correct, Vivian?
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about your job and your role there at the county.
Okay, first of all, I'm a personal property appraiser for the county. I appraise all personal property, and that would include anything that you use for business, airplanes, marine craft, cell towers, billboards, anything that you use for business purposes.
Okay, all right. So, and that's the other bills and forms that we'll be getting in the mail. And I know there's a deadline time for people to complete those forms and get them back to you as well. What's the deadline on those, Vivian?
The deadline is April 1st.
Okay, all right. Now you're saying that my lawnmower, weed eater, or those things that I need to report to you?
Only if you're using those personal items for a business. If you have a landscaping business, those of course would be reported to me during this season between January 1st and April 1st.
Okay, so that's the distinction there. I know a lot of times people sometimes, I guess, get a little confused when we talk about personal property, real property, you know, because you talk about a lawnmower. To me, that is personal.
Your personal property.
It's my personal property,
Exactly.
but unless I'm using that for a business is what the distinction is there, right?
Outside of a boat or an aircraft. Now, those could be pleasurable units of transportation or, you know, recreation. Those things are or can be taxable.
Okay, all right. So, and I know that they can go on your website. There's forms that they need to report these items to you. So it's basically based on the honor system. Is that correct, Vivian?
Basically, it is.
Okay, all right. And just give them your website information where they can download forms, because I'm sure they're there, correct? Give them that information if you don't mind.
First of all, if you have not received a business personal property report, you probably want to either go online or to come to our office and pick up a report if you have marine property that you've not received a return for, or business, or an aircraft. You want to report it to us, you can download it from our website at Tiff County and follow the links to the reporting at Troup County. At Troup County. I'm just still there, I guess.
That's right.
TroupCounty.org.
Okay, well, very good. All right. So they pull down those forms and get them back to you. Now, and I want to jump back over to you for a second there, Dana. I know we talked a little bit about the appraisal process, the appeal process, but we still have some exemptions that people can apply for. Talk about some of those exemptions that are out there available to the Troup County residents.
And this time frame between January 1st and April 1st is also the time that you can come in and apply for conservation use assessment. And this is a program that is available to anyone whose land is an agricultural use. And there is a minimum 18-acre requirement to get into this program. And there's several other requirements. There's a pretty lengthy list. But if anyone's interested, then surely has at least 18 acres, they can come by and we'll be glad, or call the office, either one, and we'll be glad to explain the program. It is a very good program if you have that type property.
Okay, all right, and it says primarily it's for agricultural use, minimum of 18 acres.
Exactly.
Okay, well, very good.
This is also, April 1st is the deadline. If you have property that you feel is tax exempt, an application would need to be completed for that, for approval before April 1st. We do accept homestead exemption applications year-round, but the deadline to get that exemption for this tax year is April 1st.
It's April 1st.
So there's a lot going on right now in our office with that April 1st deadline. So.
Absolutely. Okay. And it's important that our viewing audience realize that they still get the local homestead exemptions. I think there's an elderly discount, military discount, just to kind of name a few off the top of my head, but then they can always contact your office, as you stated.
Right. They can come in. Our clerks up front are very well knowledged in this and can help them. If they call, probably would need to call first, because there are some items they need to bring with them in order to qualify for veterans exemptions and for the elderly exemptions, because there is an income and age requirement there.
Okay, all right. And they always can go out to the website, I'm going to assume, correct?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Website's always there with lots of information and a breakdown of what the requirements are.
Okay, very good. All right. Now, Vivian, I want to go back to you in talking about your personal property and use for businesses. Now, and I know, like we said earlier, it's based on an honor system. Are there penalties for someone not reporting personal items?
Yes, it is. There's a 10% penalty that will be or shall be applied to any unreturned personal property. So if that property is there and is after the April 1st deadline and discovered, at that point 10% will be added to that personal property that's not been reported.
Okay. And we say it's on the honor system, but you also use the word discovered there. So is there someone that kind of goes out and kind of makes sure that what I report is accurate? Is there a person that does that?
There are many methods of discovery and discovery tools that I use in order to basically find personal property that might be taxable in our county, and any number of newspapers and FAA reports, FCC reports for towers and equipment that's located. There's a lot of different discovery tools that we use, the business license list and so on and so forth. But those things are used for the discovery period. But site visits are another method of inspections, verification tools that we use to assess, to confirm that the return was made in good faith.
Okay. Now let's say for example, a business reported to you in 2010 and 2011, and they don't report 2012. And I know you say you have the discovery, and they got the forms and everything, and let's say they had gone out of business. Is it important that they return that form or just kind of trace it?
Absolutely. That is probably one of the most problematic parts of my job. When people neglect to follow through. If you have a boat, if you have an aircraft that you sold in the prior years, it's important to make that return to us with your bill of sale to let us know if you've moved that personal property, to indicate to us what county, if it's out of state, and a title, some information, proof that that item is no longer in our county. Because once it's on our taxing digest, it is your responsibility to report to us that it's no longer here. So you definitely want to do that by the April 1st deadline of that following year. And if you don't make a return, the government has allowed for us to receive a return that's not been made by you. It's called an automatic return.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty much saying I have the same property at the same value as the year before.
Okay. Okay.
And if you have sold your business, that's not the case, and so it is beneficial to that property owner to just follow through every year and let us know what's going on.
Okay, very good. And that's when, sometimes, because I think I have received one of those in the past, and I didn't realize, understand. I just kind of trashed it, like I'm sure a lot of people do. But it's important that they get it back into you. Absolutely.
Because once you've signed that oath, you've told us that you had that property. We will naturally have to assume that that property is still there.
It's still there, absolutely. Okay. And then, of course, you say you have the discovery times that you go out and everything. Now, and you bring up one other question. If, say, for example, someone owns property, they live here in Troup County, but their business may be registered in another county or outside of the state of Georgia, how does that play, or do the two correlate?
The law says that if first of all, property is supposedly assessed in the county where the taxpayer or the property owner lives. Okay. But if that property owner, say his site would be in Coweta County, but his business is located in Troup County, then he would report in Troup County. This is where his business. The only exception to that rule would be construction. Okay. That's the only thing that the law allows for us to make that the headquarters located. Wherever that location is, that's where the property would be assessed at that point.
Okay, all right, very good. This has been an education for me today, ladies. I want to tell you, and I hope that our viewing audience will call in too. If you don't mind, Dana, give them your contact information number and website, so if they have questions about real property, personal property, can call in or go to the website and get additional information there. Dana, please.
Well, you can go to the county's website. It's www.troupcountyga.org. Okay. And just follow the links to departments, and then all of our forms and contact information is there. Our phone is 706-883-1625 is our primary line. That'll get you in, and I'm sure anyone there can help you out.
All right. Well, ladies, I want to thank you both very much for coming on and sharing this information, and make sure I get my forms in to you before that deadline, April the 1st, okay?
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have two ladies on again from the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization here of LaGrange. I have on Amanda Williamson and Angela Couch. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is something that's near and dear to my heart as well, because as you well know, Amanda, I am a big myself. My little Carleek Haddon has been, he and I have been together now almost
over 2 years.
It's over 2 years, absolutely. I had to think about it for a moment. And I'm going to tell you, it's been great. You were very instrumental in the match there, and it's been a great match. And we'll just want to say welcome to Angela. I think this is your second day on the job, Angela.
It is.
Let me ask, I won't ask too many questions, but
Thank you.
how has it been thus far?
It's been great. I've been doing a little bit of training the past 2 weeks, so it's been great. It's been a smooth transition so far.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Now, where you transitioned over to this position from? I
From
think
Harmony House.
Okay, absolutely. So you're kind of local to the area.
Yes.
Right. Well, very good. Well, I know that you have a lot of support there, and Amanda and all the other staff members, and also the board members to make that transition.
Such as yourself.
As myself, as missing a meeting last night.
Sure.
Well, let's just talk about Big Brothers Big Sisters a little bit. Amanda, if you don't mind, talk about the organization and what is the mission.
Okay. Well, Big Brothers Big Sisters is a nationwide mentoring agency that serves children in one-to-one professionally supported matches. We've actually been in existence nationwide for over 100 years, but here in Troup County since 2005. So we're going on our 7th year, which we're very proud of. So in saying that, our mission is to we really serve children ages 6 through 13 that come from primarily single parent family homes that are considered at risk. So really we like to say that we are a preventative program. We serve gender to gender matches. So we, like you mentioned before, you have a little brother. So we match male children with male volunteers, and we match female children with female volunteers. And really the process is very easy. You know, as far as volunteers goes, they go through an interview process, a background check, of course, for child safety reasons. And we really match based on the volunteers' preferences and their ability to meet the child's needs, and as well as sharing common interests with that child. And the parents get to go through a similar process as far as who their child is going to be matched with as far as a volunteer goes. So, we're just very proud that we have been here since 2005 in the local community, and, we're going strong. And over the course of those 7 years, we've actually been successful enough to serve over 300 children individually in one-to-one matches. So that's quite an accomplishment, I would say. And just thinking about the process that goes through in making that match.
Absolutely. When you're talking about volunteering and volunteering with a child, a lot of times people think, oh my God, I don't have time, or don't have the resources such as money, things of that nature. Talk about how Big Brothers, the staff there, supports the big and providing activities for them to do, and a lot of times are free of charge.
Big Brothers Big Sisters for Parents is a free organization. We ask that the volunteer would see the child in our community-based program. We have 2 different programs. In our community-based program, 4 to 8 hours a month. So if you think about how many hours you spend maybe going to the gym, maybe doing your hobby, whatever the case may be, 4 to 8 hours a month really isn't all that much time that we're asking of you to spend with your little. As far as resources, do you hear that a lot? I don't have the financial means. I have 3 kids of my own. Well, what people don't understand is that we encourage you to do free activities. You are actually assigned a case manager, which is exactly what I do, and I support you throughout the entire life of your match. We do ask that our mentors make a 1-year commitment. So, for 12 months of being that child's mentor, and seeing them at least 4 to 8 hours a month. I'm giving you a call each month to make sure things are going okay. I encourage you, maybe if you and your little like to do basketball or play basketball, go shoot hoops for 2 hours. Then maybe pack a picnic lunch so you're not having to spend $12 on a lunch. As far as men, they're a little picky about doing the picnic lunches. That's more for our female matches. But, there's a lot of things in the local community. Going to visit the museum, that's free. Going to Hills and Dales, they offer, partnerships, throughout the community that we have, that you can go either free to low cost to certain, events or community organizations. So for you to say that it's going to cost me more money, I can talk you out of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're talking about that 1-year commitment. I remember when the year came for Carlika and I to re-up our year or whatever, he came to me, he was looking real sad. I said, well, Carlika, what's wrong? He says, our year's about to be up, and I just wanted to make sure that you were going to stick with me. And when a child tells you something like that, it can't help but, if you have a heart, it can't help but pierce your heart. And like I stated, we've been together now for about 2 years, and it's been a great match for us. Well, Angela, I want to ask you a couple of questions, because I know that this is your second day on the job, and you came in, I guess, right at about a monumental time, because we have one of our fundraiser events that's going on, and that's the annual Oyster Roof. I think this is our 3rd year, correct?
It is.
Our 3rd year. Talk a little bit about that for us, Angela.
That is coming up on Saturday, March 10th from 5 to 9 at Highland Park. That's actually inside Highland Country Club area. It's $100 per ticket. That includes your drinks and food. And we were just talking earlier about how if you don't like oysters, what do you do? There will be other items on the menu that aren't just seafood, and we're hoping to have another restaurant in the area cater some sides as well.
Okay.
And we have live music, and it obviously goes to a good cause. And last year it poured. It was, pouring down rain, really muddy, and I still had a great time.
Absolutely.
So I think it'll be a really good time too.
I came out. I got there a little bit late because I had to go to Atlanta earlier that day, and I got out there, but it just kind of drizzling rain. I thought, well, my God, it's not going to be as successful. But thankfully, people were there, and I had a great time, and I think we started to run out of the few items. We went and got more items. So again, that's going to be Saturday, March the 10th. At Highland Park, and it's for a great cause for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Talk about how those fundings are used, if you don't mind, Amanda.
Okay, and just to be clear, the $100 gets 2 individuals
That's
in.
right.
So just wanted everyone to know that. As far as where the money goes, we have to do it is only 2 people that work in our satellite office in LaGrange. Our corporate office, so to speak, is in Columbus. So think about, as far as we've started over 300 kids in one-to-one matches, with having 2 individuals at the LaGrange office is quite of a accomplishment. So we work a lot of hours in saying that. But as far as where the funding goes to primarily, it is to, of course, to recruit volunteers. Because we say it costs about $1,000 to make a match after all the resources that go into recruiting the volunteer, their background check, the hours that it goes into, interviewing them and making that final match in the process. As far as also recruiting children, events that we have to sometimes pay to go into to recruit kids in the local community. And, of course, very minimal, running costs that it goes to. It's primarily just goes back into the community if you really think about it. Absolutely. As far as, trying to serve our local kids. Okay. I guess as far as a large percentage, I would say recruitment of volunteers. That's right. Recruitment of kids, and definitely events that we host for our matches. I'm sure you could probably talk more about that. We have an annual holiday party at New Community Church. They host every year, which we're very thankful for. We have a pool party every summer, so money obviously has to be, allotted for those activities that we do each year.
Absolutely. And again, we can't say enough about, sowing into the life of a child. The song, our late Whitney Houston, I believe the children are our future, teach them well and let them lead the way. And we have to do that because we have to understand that, some of the situations and backgrounds our kids come from, and, is not where they're going to actually end up. So again, excuse me, that's the Orchard Rose. And the volunteers, you need volunteers for that. You need other people to help sponsor, the business to sponsor. Talk about that for us a little bit. I see you saying yes. Talk about that for us, if you don't mind, Angela, a little bit.
We have different levels of sponsorship. Do you know the amounts off the top of your head?
I would say that for our corporate sponsorships, we're really trying to hit at least 1,000. Okay. For our local, and we're very lucky that we have returning corporate sponsorships this year, but we're always in need of more. Okay. It's a tax write-off. We are 501c3, nonprofit. So, always keep that in mind as well, even if you're wanting to do a personal donation as well.
Absolutely.
And that includes, all the corporate sponsorships include tickets to the event. It's just depending on which level you get to, how many tickets are included.
Okay, very good. And again, we just want to stress when we say $100, but that's for 2 persons.
Yep.
And that's
food and drink included.
Food and drinks included, and
Live
also
music.
entertainment. and too, the Highland Park is a great venue.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful venue. If you haven't been there, it gives you an opportunity to come out. It's a development that the trees were just not, just excavated across the land there. You still have the trees, and it's a very nice setting there. Giveaways. There are going to be giveaways that night as well. That's always something.
We need those too.
We need those. Yes. Talk about the range of giveaways we had last year, if you can remember.
Just out of a few, we are very lucky, and we're going to be asking these people again this year, which I'm hoping that they're going to oblige. We had a family membership to the LaGrange College Auditorium was one of them. It's a $250 value. So if you think about it, if you have 4 children, there you go. Every summer a free activity to do with that pass. We had a gift certificate to Splash, which is a local remodeling of your kitchen or your bathroom. We also had free trips, to the mountains. One of them for you Auburn fans, I have to say this because I'm an Auburn graduate. We had a weekend stay at the Auburn University Hotel that also included dinner. So, these are just a few items, they're not just for the local community, but are also, things that include trips, that include, other establishments not within Troup County. But we definitely always are encouraging local, people to give giveaways as well.
Very good. Now, if someone is interested in being a sponsor or donating giveaways, Angela, I'm going to assume they can contact you. Absolutely. Go ahead and give them your contact information.
It's the office number in LaGrange is area code 706-298-0589.
Okay.
And if I'm not there, you can just leave a message, and I will definitely return the call.
Absolutely.
Happily.
Happily return the call.
Yes.
And be patient with you, right? Because you've
Yes.
only been on the job 2 days.
Yes.
That's right. Well, very good. Well, Angela, we're very happy to have you,
Thank you.
as the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I know that the orchard roast is going to be a big success because we have persons like Amanda's working on it. Don't want to leave anybody out. Stephanie and the board of directors, by all means. And we just want the public to come out and get tickets and come out and enjoy oysters and other menu items and a live band. There's going to be a wonderful event.
Yeah,
All right.
I think so.
Ladies, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed my interviews today. My guests have been from the Troup County Government Property Appraiser's Office, Dana Eaton, along with Vivian White, as they talked about the importance of returning the forms for personal property. Ladies and gentlemen, go out to the website if you need more information on what is personal and real property, or call their office. I'm sure they'll be ready to help you. I also had on 2 more ladies. These ladies were from Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had on the new executive director, Angela Couch, along with Amanda Williamson, as they talked about the upcoming fundraising event, the Oyster Roast, that will be held at the Highland Park. So ladies and gentlemen, by all means, come out and support the great cause and buy a ticket and come out and enjoy food and fun. That will be on March the 10th, 2012 at the Highland Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed those interviews. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.